My wife and I bought this lot for $295,000 to build our dream house. And in today's video, we're going to go over all the details about how we found this lot and our plans to build our dream house step by step. Originally, I posted an Instagram reel talking about this lot, and we got a ton of good feedback from people in the comments. Some people asked how I found this lot in the first place, and there was also this comment that I noted down. They said, "My wife and I want to build. You should definitely make a series about what to look for when scouting lots, how to verify survey, utilities are present or available, all the way down to the process about planning and building process, what you learn. Really have enjoyed your channel and the education along the way. Very high value." So that's exactly what we're going to cover. And again, we're going to go over in detail, number one, how we found this lot and 5 reasons why we chose it. Number two, the buying process, including all the documents. And number three, our vision and plans for our dream house. So that being said, let's get right into it. So first off, the way we found this land is by setting up a Zillow listing alert with our criteria. And the main thing we wanted was at least 1 acre of land. So we set up that as a filter. Then we made a list of about 10 lots that we were interested in and drove by each one. So this is really important to do because number one, you can't tell from the pictures where exactly the lot is located and other factors like how much excavation it's going to require or how much prep it's going to need to make it ready. And the land we ended up buying was actually the first lot we went to, and it instantly became our favorite from the get-go because of the following 5 reasons. So first, it has a great view of the mountain, and we also have a utility easement so our views will never be obstructed. And number two, 1 acre is going to be more than enough space for us to build our dream house. Number three, this lot is extremely flat, so there's a lot of usable acreage. And so that means a couple things. Number one, the money that we're going to be saving by not having to prepare and clear the lot is going to go directly back into the house. Number four, the utilities are already stubbed, so that's going to save us a lot of money and headaches with the county. And number five, of course, is location. There's a lot of custom homes nearby and also in the community, so that means our property is more likely to appreciate. But of course, before we went all in on this lot, we wanted to explore all options. So we kept an eye out and checked in with the agent to see the motivation of the sellers. At first, we tried to get it via seller financing so we didn't have to pull credit and also to get better terms. They were interested at first, but then they backed out. So we kept searching for plots of land, but we didn't really like anything that was coming up on the market. I reached out to some lenders for a lot loan. I put in a spreadsheet all the terms they were quoting me from various credit unions I was contacting. Then I put an application in for a few that were competitive and got a pre-approval. And from there, we put an offer in, and after a couple back and forths, we finally got our offer accepted. Now let's actually go deeper into all the numbers, the buying process, and all the legal stuff we had to go through to acquire this lot. Before we actually ended up buying the lot, of course, we had to do a lot of due diligence to make sure we didn't end up buying a bad deal. I've been investing in real estate for 7 years, and I didn't know that all this stuff went into buying a lot. So while we had the lot under contract, we went over the following 7 checkpoints. So the first thing were the HOA documents. We went over and read all the HOA guidelines, the restrictions, etc. to make sure that we could build the house we wanted. Number two, we went over the geotech reports. This was already done by the seller, but it was good to go over this report to check on the cost and also the difficulty of excavation. And to be honest, I made my architect go and read this report. I'd rather sit and watch paint dry. Number three, checking to see if this was in a flood zone. I checked with my insurance broker to see if it was in a flood zone. Thankfully, it wasn't, as flood insurance can get pricey. Number four, looking over the land survey. I checked in with my title company to make sure that the plat map has clear lines of where all the lot lines are and also to check if a survey is required. Number five is getting plans approved. I checked in with the design committee to understand what we need to do to get plans approved and also to get the most updated design guidelines. 6 was checking on zoning. I checked in with the building code and zoning to see if there were any rules or restrictions that we should be aware of. And finally, number 7 is checking on utilities. I had to confirm with the utility companies that utilities are in fact stubbed and good to go. And once we verified that everything was good to go, we went ahead with the lender I had in mind to close on the loan. So the sell price was $295,000 and the loan amount was $236,000. We put down 20% or $59,000 to be exact. The interest rate is 6.99% and the monthly principal and interest came out to the amount of $1,568.53 per month. Now, enough with all the boring side of things and all these numbers. Let's actually get to the most exciting part about this project, which is the house build. So that's what I want to discuss next is our visions and plans to build our dream house. My wife and our designer will be handling the vision and plans for our dream house, and I'm just going to be handling all the finances, which now that I'm actually thinking about it, this is going to be the most depressing job of all. Now, at the end of the day, all I care about is seeing my wife and kids happy, and that makes me happy as well, so I'm fine with it. And we've made a lot of sacrifices and worked extremely hard to get to this point. And although we love our current house and are extremely blessed to live here, my wife and I have always dreamed of building a house that has everything we want from the ground up. And the idea of this new house is not to sacrifice anything and just put all our crazy ideas and turn them into reality. Now, I'm not saying we're going to go out and throw $100,000 on chandeliers and a bowling alley, but we have always dreamed of having a home that we can raise our family and invite our family and friends over to create amazing memories with. So after we picked the lot, we had a budget in mind, but again, we wanted to throw all our crazy ideas to see how much everything would cost. Once we started getting bids back from builders, we shaved off some stuff that we didn't think was going to be good bang for our buck. So for example, we initially had plans for a pool house we decided to remove that we didn't think we were going to be actually using very much. That alone is going to help us shave off almost $100,000 off our budget, which is going to be great news for me as a finance guy. Currently, our budget for the build for the house is $2.9 million, and I'm really hoping we can stay around this, if not come in lower. And I know most people say to expect to spend more, but I've been hammering my builder to give us worst case numbers, but we'll see. Make sure to subscribe to see if we actually stay on budget, and give this video a like if you appreciate the transparency. If we get to 5,000 likes, I'll make a series going over all the details step by step. And I think we need to get at least 1 billion views to pay for our sports court. Another thing we did to shave off costs and make sure that every dollar is being utilized efficiently was hiring an interior designer. We spent $60,000 to hire our interior designer. Now, before you call me crazy and think I just contradicted myself, here's how we came to the decision of hiring one. So first, we wanted an expert eye on helping us with all the finishes of the house. Since it was our first time building and all the stress that comes along with that, I figured it would be nice to have someone we can bounce ideas off of and also have them come in with their perspective to bring everything together. And number two, we also looked for an interior designer who would help act as a project manager. That means we wanted someone who can keep the builder in line and also walk through the project at each phase to make sure that things are getting done properly and on time. Number three, we also wanted to hire someone that could help us with budget. We wanted to hire someone that had connections to vendors and also has been able to secure discounts with. They're also going to be experts on where to allocate our budget and where to go a bit cheaper without having to sacrifice too much. This is really important to us because budgets can get out of control, especially with a house this size. And number four is the return on time. Hiring a designer will help me give back my time. I didn't want my businesses to get bogged down by having to be working part-time or even full-time building this house. I also knew that I would get decision fatigued and it would make other aspects of my life suffer if I took on too much. We spoke with others who had used interior designers for their homes and every single one of them said it was worth it. For the actual house itself, here are some of the things we plan on including. So first, let's talk about the main part of the house. Like I said, we love our current home, but there are things that we wish were a bit different. For our new home, we're planning on making everything a bit bigger so we have more space, like having an oversized master closet, a butler's pantry, an extra dishwasher, which I hear is a game changer, and having more space all around the house for my kids to run around. We also added a sports court with a half-court indoor basketball, and we wanted a space where I could just go out and shoot some hoops, and also have a place for my kids to just go hang out and run around. We're in Utah and it gets really cold and snowy in the winter, so I'm sure we're going to be using it a ton. Now, we did figure we would use this space a lot, but this was the part of the house that we went back and forth on the most, since this was going to be a $200,000 to $300,000 decision. We came to the decision that it would be well worth it, and we confirmed with our designer that was a good idea. We asked her to check with her other clients who had done a sports court, and none of them regretted putting it in. Third up, we're going to be putting a heated pool in a little courtyard area in the backyard to hang out. And fourth, my favorite part of the house is going to be my gym and office. On the bottom level, we're going to have a 1,000-square-foot gym where I'm going to be able to put my favorite pieces of equipment in and also a sauna. Then upstairs, we're going to have my office that has these big windows that overlook the mountains. It's going to be plenty of space for me to film, get work done, and just have more space to hang out. So that's about it. Currently, we're in the process of working on getting our plans engineered and finalized so we can submit to the county and obtain our permits. I'm hoping this process doesn't take longer than 6 to 8 weeks, but we'll see. Once this happens, we're going to be able to close on our construction loan and start digging. Now, the reason I'm making this video and sharing all this with you is not to brag, but to give you a behind-the-scenes intimate look as to the entire build process. I've looked on YouTube, and while there are some good videos of breaking down building a home, I haven't seen anything that really goes in depth, and that's what I'm hoping to do with the series. And plus, I also do read and interact with all the comments, so feel free to comment if you have any questions about anything related to this video, and I'll be happy to answer it. Also, I know there's going to be people who are going to say, well, must be nice to have rich parents, or that I'm a trust fund baby, so let me address that real quick. And I totally get it. People only see where we're at today and don't see the struggle that it took to get here. If you don't know my backstory, my parents immigrated from South Korea with very little. They would grind for 12 to 14 hours every single day for 30 plus years to give me and my brothers a decent childhood. This taught me the importance of hard work, and nothing in my life was given to me. I had to go out and earn every single penny. After I got married, we had to move into my parents' basement because we were strapped on money. It was a rough time in our marriage, but I promised my wife that we would have our dream house one day. I put every single dollar I earned and saved into real estate and my businesses to grow my portfolio to what it is today to be able to afford this. And last year, I was able to retire my parents with a short-term rental I bought for them. This has been a dream of mine since I was young, and now I'm looking to build a place for my family that will be our forever house. And being able to build my dream house is all possible due to the real estate portfolio I've been able to build up in the last 5 years. And if you want to learn more about that, I have a free live training. You can check the description for more details. Hopefully my story inspires you, and know that you can change your life in a short period of time as long as you work on the right things consistently. I'm living proof of that. I don't have any special talents. I just know how to show up every day and do my best. So if you want more content like this, make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. And again, if we get to 5,000 likes, I'll keep posting updates along the way so that you can refer back to the series when building your dream house. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon.